All right, we're going to add some characters to our character relationships graphic organizer, our CiRGO. And in Act 1, Scene 1 of Romeo and Juliet, we're introduced to quite a few characters. So let me show you how to do this. All right. First thing is, when I open that up, I want to zoom in by going to View. I like going to 200% because that lets me see things nice and clearly. All right. The first characters we're introduced to are Samson and Gregory, and it says they're of the House of Capulet. So I'm going to go to the character box and click on it once. That's going to highlight it for me. And if you hit Control-C if you're using a Chromebook, that will copy it. It's Command if you're using any Macintosh products. Most of the computers, it's going to be Control-C. So that's just going to give me an exact copy of that. I'm going to do another paste, which is Control-V. There's Samson. There's Gregory. In fact, let's go and take care of these for the whole scene. I put them over on the Capulet side because that's where they're going to go. The next to come in are Abraham and Balthazar, who we learn are from the House of Montague. They're servants to the House of Montague. So I'm just going to keep pasting here. So there's two more boxes on the Montague side. And then Benvolio comes in. Now he's a special character. These first four are just servants. They're important, but they're not a main character. Benvolio's a main character. And we find that he is the cousin and friend to Romeo. And then comes in Tybalt. Tybalt is another important character. He is the cousin. Well, he is of the Capulet family. I think that's all we know right now in Scene 1. So I'm going to put him on the Capulet side. We're not going to make a box for citizens. They're kind of like the chorus. So we'll just leave them be. Then comes Lady and Lord Capulet. And we already have those two taken care of right here. Oh, Montague too, and his wife. So they come in. And then the prince comes in. Now the prince is neither a Capulet or a Montague, so I'm probably going to put him right here in the middle. See how that red line says it's aligned exactly in the middle with my little image? That's where I'm going to put the prince, because he's about as neutral as you can get. And then they all leave, and I think that's everybody. So we'll put one in here for Romeo. Oh my goodness, so many characters. All right, so I pasted quite a few times. For now, let's make this one Romeo. Red hair underneath Montague and his wife. Romeo. Once we've got our text in here, we can go up here. Probably should highlight the text first. And we'll make the text color white because... So now I'm going to go to the box colors, which are right here. And I'm going to fill it with dark blue to match that of his parents, okay? And we get the idea that Montague and his wife care for their son. So we're going to connect these. I'm going to click on Montague. I want to do an elbow connector. Later on, I'll show you how to do the arrow part. For now, I'm just going to connect it. Okay. So I've added a line that connects Montague to Romeo. Notice I'm doing it in the center of their boxes. This way, I do that so that later, if I want to move Romeo's box around, the line will move with it. If I don't put it at the center of the two boxes, it won't move. Okay? So just be aware of that. And I could do another line for Lady Montague connected in the same way. And we'll come back later and change colors as appropriate. All right, so there's Montague and Lady Montague connected to their son Romeo. This is Benvolio. So I'm going to highlight his name, or highlight character box and change it with Benvolio. He is also of the family, so he gets a dark blue background in his box and white letters just to make it stand out a little more. How about the white letters that I highlight? All right. And then if you go back to your instructions, it says for people who belong to the Montague family only in loyalty, we're going to shade those light blue. All right. So that would be Abram and Balthazar. Let's do this all at once. I'm going to highlight that. Actually, I might be able to keep this black text because they're only going to be a light blue box. Let's see what that looks like. Abram. And how about a nice light blue? There we go. Balthazar. Also, light blue. Is that the same one? Yeah, try to make it look good. I'm not going to put any connection lines to these guys yet. They're just over on this side. Okay. If you ever want to move two things at once, when you're selected, you can highlight them both, and then you can drag them both together. All right. So I can move characters around in that way. But I don't want that right now. I want to move. I have to do it this way. That's right. You can't do the hand drag. So Benvolio, he's definitely a friend to Romeo. So I'm going to match him up with Romeo's box. And I'm going to put an elbow connector because later on I might drag him around. And him I am going to connect to Romeo. Again, we can go back later and change these colors. All right, so that's all the Montague side. This is the prince. His family members are going to be green. If that's too bright, just go with a lighter shade. It doesn't matter, okay? Any shade of green will work for the prince. Not related to anybody else in the story yet, so that's fine. But let's do the 3 Capulets. And for Tybalt, he is the cousin to Capulet and Lady Capulet, so I'm not going to put any connection arrows yet. All right. I'm not going to do any for Samson and Gregory yet. So now if we go and zoom back to the whole page, you can see, where was it? Come back. You can see everybody and how they're related. All right. So that's all we're going to do for Act 1, Scene 1. Next time I'll show you more for the next characters we get.